Hi, my name is Khurram Bhatti and I'm working as an associate professor in the Department of Computer Science at the University of Exeter. My main focus of research is largely the cybersecurity space, and I particularly work on hardware security, and today I'm going to tell you why it is important. So, a public perception about cybersecurity is largely that it's about the software security, it's about the application security, or the software protection, protection of our passwords, protection of our data, which is actually true, but there is more to it. Cybersecurity spans from software to system software as well as to hardware, and that's where we come in. So, my particular research is focused on hardware security or microarchitecture security, and I'm going to tell you why it is important. So basically, when we talk about hardware security, we mean everything which basically processes the information that we are getting processed. For example, microprocessors, memory subsystems, the network interface. So all of that needs to be secure in order to protect the data that we want to be protected. Now, with widespread use of digital technologies in our daily life, for example, the financial systems or the national critical infrastructure that we are relying on for a lot of services, all of that needs protection. And protection is not only about the software that it runs, but also about the hardware that basically processes all that information for us. One of the challenges with the hardware is that it can be vulnerable in so many ways. For instance, the modern day attackers may also have access to some trivial information like the time a particular processor takes to compute, for example, or even the noise that it produces or the power it consumes. All of that information is basically referred as a side channel information, and that information can be very tricky actually. So just by acquiring the information that is revealed while computing can be used to basically attack these systems, make the hardware vulnerable, and extract very important information like cryptographic keys even. So my research basically at the University of Exeter is focused on how we can develop detection mechanisms in the first place for such attacks, and then how we can prevent or mitigate such information leakage in hardware systems. So what we do here is basically we develop machine learning based and AI based mechanisms to basically detect the presence of such vulnerabilities in hardware systems at runtime and try to protect the software and the data that we are processing. And how we do that, we basically develop software techniques and hardware techniques to basically harden the software and hardware against such side channel information leakage in the system. So at Exeter, we are basically working on all aspects of cybersecurity, all the way from software, its formal verification, as well as its protection at the hardware layer. We develop solutions that basically ensure that even if the software is compromised because of external factors, the hardware that is basically in a way custodian of your software can still protect the content it is processing or the data it is storing in its memories. So we are covering the security from software, firmware to hardware at Exeter.